All right. All right. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and we'll start. Just talk about
Yeah.
COVID.
Okay. My name is Catherine, and yeah, that's it. I guess I don't know what else.
Of course, people know me. I'm Robert Hines. So, and I guess we're going to be talking about the COVID pandemic, and let's get deep into it and the vaccines and the whole 9 yards. Let's see if we can get banned off of YouTube,
Yeah,
shall we?
that's fine.
Go ahead, start.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can just start by telling my own experience. It was actually, if you zoomed out a bit from the beginning, it was an interesting experiment.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
That's all SARS was. It was an experiment. It was a pre-plan for COVID.
Oh, SARS.
SARS, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That
Yeah,
was
it
what,
might
10
be.
years? That was what, 15 years ago?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember something. Yeah.
That was a
But I
test.
mean, okay. Yeah, could be
Yep.
like
But it was a,
you mean like a pre-test
yep.
before
Yep, pretty
COVID?
much.
Mm,
Yeah, it happened like 10 years before COVID.
yeah.
Well, so what's your thoughts on it? On the whole thing?
So yeah, my first experience was that people panicked way too much, and they started hoarding food from the supermarkets,
Yep.
like from day one. And I was just like, why? What's why? I mean, first of all, it's just a flu, kind of. I listening to what was people's symptoms, and yeah, it just I couldn't really see what the big deal was. And um, okay, so just yeah, I don't know. It's a okay. Now I have a freeze moment. It's like just just a
Well,
second.
what they wound up doing is turning flu into a COVID. I mean, I'm telling people right now, people are all because there was no COVID. That's the reality. And I keep telling people, if you want to go, if you don't understand that, go take a look at your flu stats from 2021, 2022,
Mm,
2020, 2021, 22. I
yeah,
mean, here in Alberta, it flew up and disappeared like a fart in the wind, and it was all COVID. And then you had
exactly.
that, what was her name? That woman doctor. I can't remember her name now, but she was up there. She did this announcement from the White House in March, I believe it was. The name will come to me. But anyway, she turned around. She said, "Well, there's no more flu. We're going to use the flu monitoring system to for COVID."
Mm,
She wasn't joking. There was no flu. Flew up and disappeared like a fart in the wind, and they replaced it with COVID. That's the reality of what happened, and people just don't seem to get it. People don't want to believe it.
yeah,
And it's like Mark Twain said, it's so much easier to fool people than it is to convince them that they've been fooled. And that's the whole
exactly.
problem today,
Yeah,
because nobody
yeah.
wants to believe they've been fooled.
No, no, no. They still think that they need to get the shots, the booster shots. I mean, I
I
still hear about people getting that,
yeah,
and
I haven't had a vaccine in 45 years,
no, yeah.
and I'm not going to have any more.
I mean, I didn't want to take it, and I ended up not taking it. But there were a few times where I was close because there was this pressure from society, and all of my friends, all of my relatives, all of my family, my coworkers, like everyone except my own father and his girlfriend, they actually didn't take it. But like everyone else, so I only told a few people that I didn't take it because I couldn't stand the way they were like getting mad at you if like they treated you like a murderer or something,
Yep,
like it was your fault that your grandparents or parents or whatever would die if you didn't take it.
yep,
um and yeah, so it was easier not to tell people that I didn't take it, so instead I had to take tests. Like every third day you had to have a negative. If you didn't take the vaccine, you had to have a negative test every third day, where to be able to go to work, to take the public transportation. And yeah, so they made it really difficult not to take the vaccine.
yep.
um,
And
but I did
over
that.
here,
I did it. I didn't want the side effects from a vaccine that was not necessary for a healthy person like me. I couldn't
yeah,
see the point.
I mean, the vaccine has done a lot of damage. And
Exactly. Yeah.
people still believe it's long COVID. If people still believe it's long COVID, you might want to get online and start looking at the insurance data because it's ugly.
Yeah.
Tens of millions of people are dead. Tens of millions and more are sick and dying.
Exactly.
You know, and I have no sympathy for the vaccinated anymore. I'm beyond that now. I can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
after what they put us through. You
Exactly.
know,
Yeah.
I mean, I never once masked up. I never took any testing. I never took a vaccine. But yet I would go to a grocery store with no mask on, and the whole store was wearing a mask, and they were all getting pissed off at me. You know what? I could care less. I'm not putting a
Okay.
freaking mask on
You
my
dare
face.
to go without a mask.
Pardon me?
So you did dare to walk around without a mask.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I had security guards trying to block me and everything else. You know what? Get out of my fucking way.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not putting up with this shit.
And they have found out now that it didn't really work.
It didn't work at all.
They were not necessary at all.
No.
Actually, people got sick from wearing them because all the bacteria and viruses would just stick into the.
Well, we talked about this before. All the stuff made in India and Bangladesh and Pakistan. That's where all the freaking masks are made. People can get online and look at where the masks were made. They were making them on dirt floors in India. People in bare feet.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
Yeah. You can watch the video yourself and then make a mask. They're on a dirt floor and bare feet. And
Okay.
totally unsanitary conditions. They're making those blue masks.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, for people to
Yeah.
wear. But I mean, the society around here. I mean, they lost their shit collectively.
Yeah, it was
And
like a freak show.
the lemmings jumped right off the freaking cliff. There was people standing on the corner by
Exactly.
sign saying they wanted to gas the unvaccinated. They wanted us wearing yellow stars.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
Also that. Yeah.
People lost their freaking marbles. And meanwhile, I'm watching people line up to allow a complete stranger to inject a complete unknown substance into their arm for a freaking free donut.
Yeah. Yeah, that was actually
You know?
quite funny. Yeah.
Oh God, it was funny, but it wasn't.
Yeah. 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 I know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah.
It's incredible. But yet, you look at the flu stats from the early years. There was no flu. Flew up and disappeared like a fart in the wind. They turned flu into COVID, and then they actually told people that if if you get shot in the head, you come to the hospital, you're dying a freaking gunshot wound to the head, but yet you pop positive for COVID,
Yeah, I
they're going to
remember
mark it
that.
down as a
Yeah,
COVID death.
they called everything COVID deaths
Oh
suddenly.
yeah, I remember
Yeah.
one guy fell off a ladder, broke his freaking neck, but yet he tested positive for COVID. It was COVID that killed him, not the ladder, not the
Yeah.
fall, not the broken neck.
And that
And
was
people
to
were just
increase the death rate so that
yeah,
people would get scared of the. Yeah.
exactly it. I mean, I lost my job. I lost all my clients because of this
Okay.
crap. Because I wouldn't take a vaccine. I lost most of my family because I wouldn't take a vaccine. They were same as you. They were told, "Oh, if you don't take a vaccine, you're going to be killing people like us."
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, okay, but the normal flu, people take a vax for the normal flu to protect themselves. I never take the normal flu wax. So why do I
I like,
suddenly have to take this one? What's the difference? I mean, why does it protect them or doesn't it protect them?
yeah, it doesn't protect them. It didn't
The
do
vax.
shit.
I mean, if if it's
The reality is,
why
the
does everyone have
vaccine, it wasn't even a vaccine to begin with. It was a bioweapon. That's what people don't realize. But they don't want to hear it anymore. Again, it's easier to fool people than it is to convince them they've been fooled. But
Do you
what they
think
did,
do you think the COVID was created in a lab and was a lab leak?
there was no COVID.
Okay,
There never
okay,
was a
so you mean
COVID.
yeah,
They turned flu into COVID. That's what they did. So when people were suffering with COVID, it was a bloody flu.
mm. Yeah, I had it once. It was I don't know if I had it or I had a normal flu, but yeah,
The last time I got sick with any kind of what you can call a flu or a cold, it was a bad one back in January 1st, 2020. I haven't been sick
right.
since. COVID never hit until March of 2020.
Oh,
And by then I had my own slew of problems. I mean, I was in the hospital by then anyways. I spent most of 2020 in the hospital through all this freaking gong show.
mm,
And even then, they didn't vaccinate me. And even then, I didn't get tested.
okay.
They came in there one day with a freaking swab. They wanted to shove it up my nose. I told them to get the fuck out. You're not doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Not a chance in hell you're shoving that up my nose.
So you never had one test, not even one test? Okay,
Nope.
I've been through a lot of tests.
I completely. Well, the problem is those tests are actually leaving shit in your body that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
had to
see,
stand in a queue just to get this stupid test. But I had
you
to do
see,
it, otherwise I wouldn't be able to take the public transportation or
well,
go
one of the
to work.
benefits of refusing tests and whatnot, I always got my own private room in the hospital. That's what I enjoyed the most. They always put me in the same freaking room up on the surgical floor.
Yeah.
I had nobody bother me. I had nobody in the room with me.
Oh, yeah, that's so you're treated like a dangerous.
I could care less. Yeah, I mean, they were coming in freaking hazmat gear. You know what? Feel free. I can care less.
Yeah, yeah,
If you want to treat me like a leper, not a problem.
yeah, exactly.
I could care less. But I mean, it was just a complete another gong show.
Yeah,
And there was a lot of nurses in there. I mean, there was a lot of nurses in the hospital who knew that this was all a scam anyways.
do you think so?
But it's
Yeah,
just, it's just incredible to see all the death rates since then. You know, I can't remember that woman's name. Dr. Birx, Deborah Birx, Birx.
Okay.
That was the one. She literally
Okay.
stood up in the White House pulpit and said, "You know what? There's no more flu. We're going to use the flu monitoring system for COVID." Yeah, and I sat there just going, "Yeah, you know what? Here we go. Here's a scam."
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
announced to the world right as soon as it started. She announced to the world that it's a fucking scam. We're going to turn flu into COVID, and people went and panicked. I mean, the lemmings fell off a cliff. They chased each other off a freaking cliff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But like I say, I mean, I was watching people. I mean, parents forcing their children to get vaccinated. Now a lot of kids are dead.
Exactly. Or
And
sick.
parents, I mean, that's something that's going to be hard to rectify in your own head. That's going to be hard to reconcile in your own head. How many parents out there right now trying to reconcile their own kid's death? Their healthy child went and got a vaccine, not a freaking dead of cancer or heart attack or stroke or something like that.
Yeah.
How are you reconciling that in your head? You call it long COVID? You know, you forced
Yeah. I
your
don't
child
get
to
it.
get a vaccine. You forced your child to get a vaccine, not her dead. You're going to blame the vaccine or blame your own ignorance, you know?
And children were not even, they're not even susceptible to diseases like that. I mean, it
It's
was.
and that's another problem too. Diseases. It's not a freaking disease. It's an infection.
Mm.
You know, 40 years ago when I got measles, like we had everything growing up. I was the last of chickenpox parties. I don't know how old you are. We never had vaccines growing up. We had if one kid got sick in town, geez, the half the town was strafing through. They never closed the school down for measles and mumps and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah.
They wanted everybody to get it. I remember having whooping cough. I remember having mumps. You know, the
Yeah.
cheeks are all swelled up, the salivary glands
Yeah.
are all swelled up. It wasn't pleasant. But you know what? I'm immune to it.
Yeah, exactly. I think you are. So our bodies, through evolution, we're much better to cope with like natural diseases than the vaccines.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. Like vaccines shouldn't be happening at all. We never got. I mean, none of us died from not having vaccines. But yet today they turned infections like measles. I mean, even the Brady Bunch. When you go back to the 70s, the Brady Bunch did a show on measles. The kids got measles, and the kids are sitting there. Well, if you can get a few days out of school, it's a great way to do it with measles. But now it's a
Mm.
freaking disease. Now it's gone from an infection into a disease, and there's pandemics and epidemics of fucking
Yeah,
measles. And oh my
yeah,
gosh, shut down the world, measles. But yet people don't know how to treat measles. What does measles do? Measles can kill you if you don't have enough vitamin A. If you don't up the vitamin A while you have measles, measles strips the vitamin A out of your body.
mm.
And if you don't replenish it, if you lose enough vitamin A, you die. And then people are
Okay.
pointing towards India and Pakistan and whatnot, going, well, you know, people over there dying of measles. Yeah, they're already vitamin A deficient.
Yeah, it's malnutrition often. So
Exactly. You know, but
yeah,
yet for some reason, like our parents knew that when we got sick with measles, mumps, whatever have you, to pound the freaking vitamins into us. We never died.
mm.
Mom didn't know it was vitamin A at the time, but she knew to pound the vitamins into us. She was whacking everything into us. Flintstones, freaking effervescent, you name it.
Yeah,
Fruit and vegetables, and you know,
exactly. Yeah,
we never died. It was the vitamins were the treatment. Let it
mm.
run its course.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah. And of
chicken.
course, there may be some very old people, whatever. I mean, but still, to me, it should be free to take a vaccine. It shouldn't be mandatory or forced on anyone.
Well, here's the thing. There was one woman I was talking or listening to. She was a doctor, and I was asking on the doctors whether they vaccinated or not. I think if she gave out 60,000 vaccines, she didn't. She chose not to vaccinate people. Period. But if she
Okay.
had given out, I think it was 60,000 vaccines, she would have made $1.5 million.
Mm. Oh yeah,
So I mean, when
that's money. Yeah.
they turned around and incentivized COVID. You know, if somebody checked into the hospital with COVID down the states, you were guaranteed $15,000. If you had to put that person on an event, I think it was $45,000 that you got. So there was a whole lot of incentive, financial incentive, to get people put on an event. Well, most of the ones that went on an event were dead. They ended up dead because they weren't they were overinflating their lungs and whatnot. They weren't dying of fucking COVID.
Oh,
They were
okay.
dying out of pure stupidity.
Yeah.
You know, and there was a lot of people died in the hospitals needlessly. A lot of these
Exactly.
old people in the old age homes, I mean, they weren't even allowed to see their kin. They were looking at each other through a freaking glass window.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
These people are dying alone. I mean,
Exactly.
there's a whole lot
Yeah.
of penance to pay for.
Yeah. Yeah. And then all the lockdowns and social distancing and
Oh, don't even get me
created a
started
lot
on
of
that.
mental problems also.
Oh, mental problems, especially in young children and babies. I mean, babies that were born through COVID. You know,
Exactly.
part of the learning process, part of the speech process is actually seeing people's mouths move. Well, most babies grew up. The
Mm.
ones that were born through COVID, they went through years where they never seen a mouth.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
And all of a
yeah,
sudden, when you pull the mask down, they're like, "Oh,
yeah,
what's that?" You know,
yeah.
Jesus. The
Yeah.
damage, the psychological damage
Oh,
that was done by COVID is incredible, and
yeah.
it will never be fixed. Never.
No, not the ones who went through it. No,
No.
exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, right now, as
Yes.
a result of the vaccines, you get when you get into the insurance data online. I mean, there's tens of millions of people dead around the world as a result. Back in the days of the polio vaccine, when what was his name, Jonas Salk created it, he actually stated point blank, "Don't use it." But yet they turned around and used it. But what they did back in the 40s, I think the 30s and 40s, with the original or the second version of the polio vaccine,
Yeah.
they put SV40 into it. And
Yeah.
it's a monkey virus that causes cancer in humans. And all of a sudden, in the 50s and 60s and 70s, the cancer rates exploded as a result of people being vaccinated.
Yeah.
But people go,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, you're crazy! You're crazy!" They never did that. They did the same goddamn thing with the COVID vaccines.
Yeah.
They
There's
not
a lot of.
they put the SV40 virus back into the vaccines, and then they used the what do you call it? The HIV. What do you call it?
Victor. Oh.
What causes HIV? I forget what the name of it is, but they actually put that in there. And right
AIDS.
now, the HIV rates in the states right now are exploding.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
partially it's because of the new sexual revolution going on, but
Yeah.
partially it's because of the vaccines.
Yeah.
And people have no idea.
No, of course not. If it's
No,
yeah.
when you get to the tech side of things, this is what's really interesting. Like, I've been watching the world from a tech standpoint for the last 35 years. Like, I hate technology. My laptop's 10 years old. My phone is like as old as I can get. I try to stay away from all the latest and greatest. People think I'm nuts.
That's
But
funny
when
when
you,
you're in IT, but yeah.
yeah, now the thing of it is, we started off years ago with something called IoT, which is called Internet of Things. So it's all the devices
Mm.
connected to the internet. So you got computers, phones, whatever have you. Anything that's on the internet is an IoT, is an Internet of Things. Okay. And that
Yeah.
goes for like Ring cameras and whatever have you. Any device is connected to the internet. Then we got into what was called IOMT, which is the Internet of Medical Things. So it's all
Mm-hmm.
the medical devices that are now online and hooked up to the internet. But now what we have as a result of vaccines is IOB, which is the Internet of Bodies. And people don't seem to realize that all of the technology, the microtechnology that's been in the vaccines, is now creating this network of bodies, human bodies. So all the human bodies are part of a network right now.
You
And
mean
people are
the
actually,
mRNA vaccines?
yeah, and people are actually casting off a Bluetooth
They're casting off what? Bluetooth signals?
address. Yeah, they're putting out Bluetooth signals.
Okay.
They've got self-generating technology in the bodies that's actually creating a network. And now your body is
Mm.
hackable. It's fully hackable as a result of these vaccines. So if you've had a vaccine, you now have technology inside of your body that you can't get rid of.
And you're talking about the mRNA vaccines
Yeah,
specifically, right? Yeah.
yeah, all the mRNA vaccines.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you mean that they had to have a excuse for most people to take it, so that's why they made that pandemic. Pandemic.
Yeah, it was to get people vaccinated. There was no COVID. There was no COVID virus. They turned the flu into freaking COVID, and they scared the shit out of people to get them vaccinated. That was the whole. That was the whole purpose, to get the vaccines into people. It's not even a vaccine. It's a fucking bioweapon.
Yeah. So what
People,
about us? What about the ones like you and me who haven't had it? What are they going to do
that's
about that? Or
that's one of the problems. It's all called shedding. So people are actually shedding. The vaccinated
Mhm.
are actually shedding. So I've been
Yeah,
trying
I
to
heard
avoid
about that.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it's a weird thing to get into. But let's just say right now, as a result of all the vaccines, people now you're not human anymore. You see, back in I think it was 2010, the U.S. Supreme Court actually stated or made a decision that the human genome cannot be patented. A natural human genome cannot be patented. But if you change it manually, then you can patent the genome.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
exactly what they did. They used the mRNA vaccines. Messenger RNA actually changes the DNA in your body. So they've actually manually changed your body, which means you no longer are human. You do not have human rights anymore if you are vaccinated, because now your system has been manipulated. Your DNA genetic profile has been manipulated. Now you're a Homo Borg sapien. Not Homo sapien, but Homo Borg sapien. That's what they're calling these people now as a result of being vaccinated. So if you're vaccinated, you don't have any more human rights, according to the Supreme Court of the United States. And I'm pretty sure it's most of the Supreme Courts around the world. And interestingly enough, if people want to really get into it, the European Union High Court actually passed a law stating that right now doctors are criminally and financially responsible for all the damages as a result of the vaccines. So
Okay.
anybody out there stating that there's no damages caused by the vaccines, you better get your ass in gear and get online and start looking at the insurance data and start looking at court cases.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same in the UK. Right now, doctors in the UK are now being held criminally liable and financially liable for all of these side effects.
But that would be good.
But yet, I don't think people realize it. There should be a lot more lawsuits. I mean,
Yeah.
people are afraid to create lawsuits. Like usually, the United States is so sue happy, but yet we don't see anybody getting sued over all this crap.
No.
And it's quite interesting. People aren't even angry anymore.
But is it because you cannot prove that it was because of a vaccine?
Well, you can prove it. That's the thing.
Okay.
All of the heart conditions and everything else. I mean, pericarditis and myocarditis is now a side effect of the vaccine. The CDC has admitted it. They have no choice.
Yeah.
Now, when all of this started off, the Pfizer, I think it was, wanted to keep all this data. They got all the trial data. They wanted to keep it secure for 70 years until most of the population was dead. But they were forced to release it. And there was something like 9 pages of known side effects during the trials. Most of the people that took the vaccine, that so-called vaccine during the trials, died. And they had something like 9 pages of side effects, known side effects, before they even released it to the public.
Mm.
And some of these side effects are incredible, and that's exactly what we're seeing today. We're seeing cancers, we're seeing heart, myocarditis, pericarditis, we're seeing brain damage, we're seeing everything.
Exactly.
I mean, right now in the last few years, I mean, autism alone has exploded.
Mm.
And people are, now we got the far left trying to turn around, oh, it's all genetic. What do you think? We're fucking evolving to be autistic? Or is there something else possibly going on?
Yeah.
But it's causing so much bloody damage with these so-called vaccines. And it's not a vaccine, it's a bioweapon. It always has been.
Mm.
And again, they fully admitted right at the start. Dr. Birx admitted right from the freaking start. There's no COVID. We're using flu. Flu is gone.
Yeah.
They turned flu into COVID. But yet people, oh, you're crazy. They didn't do that. Well, Jesus, listen to yourself. You can listen to your own words. But again, it's easier to fool people than it is to convince them they've been fooled.
Exactly. Yeah.
Truer words have never been spoken.
Yeah. Yeah. You really need to think for yourself.
It's interesting, like all of this is part of methodological behaviorism under Edward Thorndike. And B.F. Skinner himself in About Behaviorism stated clearly that, how did he put it? With respect to his own goals, methodological behaviorism was highly successful. And that's a mouthful right there. Because what methodological behaviorism set out to do is they achieved. Feminism is methodological behaviorism. COVID was methodological behaviorism. It's all a system of reward and punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People who got vaccinated, they were like heroes, and those who didn't, they were like...
Oh, it created a lot of entitlement, didn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, mask up, do your part. Take the vaccine, do your part. That's a communist ideology. People don't realize that. Get out and do your part. That's all communist ideologies.
Yeah.
Take a vaccine. Take a chance.
Yeah, take a chance. Yeah. Yeah. What's worse? Having COVID, or getting cancer and heart disease?
But again, there was no COVID. That's the crazy part. That's going to be the hardest part. That's the crazy part. People are going to have the hardest part trying to get over that fact. There was no COVID. There was flu.
Yeah, I don't think you can convince people.
No.
I mean, they don't want to believe it.
No.
So
that's the reality.
Yeah.
They don't want to believe they've been fooled.
Nope.
And what do you do with them? I mean, there's so many people right now sick, and people are looking for sympathy. I mean, I joined the vaccinated groups on Facebook just to have a read, and they're all out there living in freaking misery, and they're somebody pity me. You know what? Don't look at me to fucking pity you. You brought this on yourself. People like us. I mean, I was begging people not to take that vaccine. I'm fucking trying to educate people. I'm begging people, don't take it. Don't take it. Oh, you're crazy, and they're fucking just 5, 6, 7 shots.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in that way, they were, in that respect, you could say they were brave.
It wasn't brave, it was stupid.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't listen to reason. That's the whole thing, right? But everybody wanted to do their part. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, but they also turned it around so that people like you were the crazy ones. I mean,
Hmm.
the the ridiculed ones. So, and
Well,
people don't
we're
want
not
to be
we're not
labeled
being
that.
ridiculed.
So,
Yeah, we're not being ridiculed anymore. I can guarantee you.
yeah. Do you
But it's
watch
just it. Go
Dr.
ahead.
John Campbell,
Yeah,
the UK doctor? Yeah, he
hmm
addresses a lot of the side effects now that are
he
the
he went
disease.
from he went from pro vaccination to holy shit.
Yeah, yeah,
It's interesting watching him
exactly.
because now he's scared shitless.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He
Yeah,
really
because
is.
he took it himself, the vaccine.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of medical professionals out there doing the same thing. I mean, I watched a lot of people when COVID started off. There's a fellow here in Canada. His name is Viva Frey. I don't know his real name, but he's another influencer that started off. And a lot of influencers started off in COVID when the lockdowns happened because they had nothing better to do. But
Mm.
anyways, I mean, he was very far left and he was all pro-vaccine and the whole 9 years. And then all the like the COVID protests started here in Canada, and that's when he started turning more to the right. And it was interesting to watch these people go from the far left to the far right over the course of a few months when they're starting to wake up, right? And they start seeing what's going on.
Mm.
It was very interesting. But the psychology of all this is just incredible. I mean, B.F. Skinner would have been fascinated by
Yeah,
fascinated
yeah,
by
yeah,
COVID.
definitely. Yeah.
I can only imagine what he would have been thinking.
Mm.
When you watch a bunch
Yeah.
of lemmings, scared shitless, and they're all jumping off the freaking same cliff.
Yeah, it was from day one. They were like, "Oh, panic, panic!" Oh
Mm.
my god. Yeah.
But it's interesting because everybody became the self-entitled narcissist, eh?
Mm. Yeah.
Oh, I'm fully vaccinated. And then Facebook had the, I'm vaccinated. They had the pictures
Oh
with
yeah,
the
the
label.
label.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Oh god.
Oh, yeah. Now it's all, that people have 4 or 5 vaccines. And then now you can see all the videos, now they're dead. This one here was all vaccinated up. Now she's dead. This one
Yeah,
is all
it's
vaccinated. Now they're dead.
yeah. Suddenly
You
dead.
know,
Yeah.
I think there was like 2,500 freaking sports figures dropped dead.
Mm.
Athletes.
Mm.
Nobody can explain it. They don't want to. People are running along, running a marathon. These people can run 50-mile marathon. They're running along. Next thing you know, they face plant into the ground. They're dead, stone dead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, Nobody wants to explain why.
No, no. No, it's like
God.
it's just
You
what
know, now
happens.
now there's kids down the states. Most kids down the states now have to go and get a freaking heart tested before they take gym class. And people are going, "Oh, this is normal." No,
Okay.
it's not fucking normal. It never was normal.
No, no. Ah,
It's all a result of the vaccines, and people just don't want to admit it. They don't want to admit they've been
no,
fooled.
no, no, no. They're still. Yeah.
And I admire people's tenacity for keeping their head firmly buried in the freaking sand. I admire people's tenacity to do that. I really do.
Yeah.
It's like people don't want to get angry anymore.
Do you think there'll
Is that?
be a second
Oh yeah,
pandemic?
they're gonna try again.
I'm gonna try again. Yeah.
But you see, one of the big things, and I got to get into here, and it's the police in this country, police in our countries.
Mm.
As a like here in Canada, when Trudeau, Ding Dong Trudeau, turned around and he stepped up. Now, we're going to pass the Emergency Act. He stuck that Emergency Act in the Senate, and he pulled it right back out because he knew damn well they wouldn't vote on it. They wouldn't pass it.
Okay.
The Emergency Act here that gave the police all the powers to lock people up in their house, it never passed in the first place. It never passed in the first place. The cops never investigated it, but as a result, they took it upon themselves. They turned around, they locked people up in their houses, they were beating people's asses across the country, they were shutting down and destroying businesses, and they were enjoying it. You could see it clearly on camera. They were enjoying shutting the entire country down.
Yeah.
As a
It gave
result of
them
the
a power.
as a result of the Emergency Act, it didn't pass. Okay? They're guilty of the highest capital crimes in this country. Every cop in this country, if you're wearing a badge for the last 5.5 years, you're guilty of the highest capital crimes in this country. You're guilty of fucking treason. You're guilty of crimes against humanity. You're complicit in genocide, which means you're guilty in genocide. And let's ice that cake with guilty of crimes against children. But yet they're running around, oh yeah, respect our authority.
Yeah.
And they think it's going to end well. None of this is going to end well. At some point, it's all going to come to a head, and the whole sit and shooting match is coming down. Nuremberg 2 is coming. That I can guarantee you. Nuremberg 1 was a joke. Nuremberg 2 won't be.
Mm.
And the fact with crimes against children, I mean, it's not just COVID. There's surgeons in this country right now that are willing to mutilate, cut the penis of a 10-year-old boy and turn him into a girl, or
Yeah,
mutilate a young girl to turn him into a boy.
yeah.
And for some reason, cops are allowing that to happen. Where's the morality? Where's the humanity there? Nobody gives a shit.
Mm.
Nobody's protecting the kids.
No.
That's crimes against children. Any surgeon that's willing to do that, I'm sorry, you need to be strung up by the freaking neck. And any cops that support it, you need to be strung up by the neck too.
Okay.
And if I get arrested for saying that, so what? The entire system is full of corruption. Period.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
And they're going to do it again. I can't wait to see the cops go around door to door saying, we're going to lock you in your house again. I can't wait to see that happen again.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the outcome, the results of that one. Let's see if they're going to have the balls to do it again.
Yeah, and if people are stupid enough to follow
There will be people stupid enough. Guaranteed. There's going to be people that are going to self-isolate. I swear to God, most people never got out of COVID isolation mentally. They're still mentally in COVID isolation.
Mm.
It's crazy. I mean, I wish people could see the world from my point of view.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just boggles my mind to see how far down humanity has gone. How dumb. I mean, I'm sorry. Humanity's gotten dumb. You look at 200 years ago, pirates knew to keep citrus on their friggin' vessels because it wards off scurvy. Right now, the kids are heading to hospital right now with scurvy.
That's crazy. Yeah.
What parent doesn't know to feed their kid vitamin C? Ascorbic acid. Vitamin C wards off friggin' scurvy, but yet there's kids going to hospital with scurvy.
Yeah. It's ultra processed junk food. Yeah.
It's all of the knowledge that's disappearing. And this is where people are being dumbed down. Like our parents knew to whack the vitamins into us when we got sick. You know what? Today, they don't know. Now it's a friggin' measles. Oh my God, it's an epidemic. Locked down the country.
Yeah. It's so easy to fool people when they don't know anything.
That's exactly it. And people don't know anything because, we're listening to the experts.
Yeah.
But they don't realize that the experts are lying to them.
We don't have to think for ourselves because we have the experts. So.
And the whole thing is, when you don't have to think for yourself, it takes away the accountability.
Yeah.
Society doesn't want accountability anymore. That's the reality. They don't want to be held accountable for their own actions anymore. Let somebody else take the accountability.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm seeing. I mean, the psychology behind that is incredible. Like I say, I would love to know Skinner's thoughts on COVID. Carl Jung, too.
Yeah.
I mean, I was sat there for the last 5 years, for the first couple of years, just shaking my head. I can't believe it.
Mm.
I couldn't believe the people were that stupid.
No.
But again, a person is smart. A person is intelligent. A group of people are dumb and stupid, panic animals. They're only a herd. They're like a herd of sheep. I'm sorry, but that's the reality.
Yeah, it was totally sheep. Yeah, very.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't some children nowadays, they don't even know what so, I mean, you buy food from the supermarket and they have no idea where that food comes from originally. like milk, what is milk? They don't even know it comes from a cow, some children.
Yeah, I mean, most people today can't associate the stick and the freaking plate with a cow in the field. They think it's magically grown at the store.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's how dumb people are right now. It's mind-blowing. How do you fix this? You can't. What do you throw them all in freaking what do you do? Throw them all on campus and start force educating them? What do you do with this? What do you do with this bunch of dumb people in society? They can't even think for themselves.
Yeah.
Skinner himself called it consciousness is atrophied.
Mm.
Critical thinking is out the window. Consciousness is atrophied. That's critical thinking gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do with it? I don't know. Got to do something to clean up society. And the options are not pretty. That's the reality. We're coming to the end of Weimar Republic again. Germany, 1918, 1932. When Hitler took over, he cleaned it up.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. But I mean, you go back to the Spanish flu days. I mean, people talk about Spanish flu like they know what we're talking about. And then we got people out there, vaccines predate, or autism predates vaccines. Well, Jesus, the first vaccine came out in the late 1800s for the cowpox. All the men
Okay.
that went to war, all the men that went to war were vaccinated.
Mm.
If you went overseas to war, you were vaccinated, no matter what. When he came back, and a lot of people came back, a lot of these men came back with different freaking foreign diseases like typhus and whatnot. So they started vaccinating to try to treat it. Well, what they did, and what they called COVID, or what they called Spanish flu at the time, and if you go back and read the actual articles, like trade magazines and whatnot, of the time, there's a lot of you'll see a lot of articles in there saying, "Do not take the vaccines. Do not take the vaccines. They're killing people."
Okay.
The only ones that died during the Spanish flu days were the vaccinated.
Hmm.
People don't realize that, and people don't want to know that. And the only ones dying right now of all diseases are the vaccinated today. It's a repeat of history yet again. They
Yeah,
created
that's
this
scary.
through vaccinations. They vaccinated shit of everybody that wanted to take it. They were vaccinating for everything, and they created this monster because of vaccines, and they didn't know what to call it, so they called it Spanish flu. The
Mm.
only ones that died during the Spanish flu days were the vaccinated. That's the reality. The unvaccinated were fine. And we're seeing a repeat of history yet again. The only ones
Yeah.
that are dying today are the vaccinated.
Yeah.
But yet you can't get through to people. They're like, bah! And again, I mean, they were lining up for a freaking to get an unknown substance shot into their arm by a complete stranger for a freaking
Yeah, it's
donut.
really, yeah.
And there wasn't even an insert you could read. They had an insert in the COVID vaccines, but it was blank.
Mm.
But yet all the side effects were on the website. They were forced to publish it. 9 pages of freaking side effects. No side effects. Severe side effects. It's incredible. But people don't want to read it. They don't want to be educated. They don't care anymore. And they will argue black and blue instead of getting educated.
Yeah.
And that scares the shit out of me. What do you do with these people?
I don't know. They just follow blindly.
Yeah,
So it's, yeah.
it's follow the sheep. And the
Yeah.
experts are blatantly lying.
But yeah, it was good test because now they know that how many sheep there are, and there are a lot.
There's a lot more people awake, though. That's the one thing. Number one thing I'm hearing right now is people are not going to be taking any more vaccines no matter what.
Okay.
That's a big thing that I'm hearing. But I mean, it's too late now anyway. The damage is already done.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, it was 4 different levels. There was one that was they gave one of the vaccines was actually placebo, and then they went from there. There was different levels. So there was
Okay.
0 through 4, I think it was. If you got to level 4, it was pretty much a kill shot. It pretty much
Mm.
guaranteed you were going to die.
There
Levels
were also
1, 2,
some
and
people who
3.
died right away. Right
Yep.
away. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, there was people passing out and dying right there on the spot. They were given a shot,
Yeah,
and
it's
5 minutes
really
later,
young.
they were dead on the floor.
Yeah.
But they were hiding those bodies, right? They were hiding all that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's crazy. But people just don't want to hear it anymore. They don't want to know the truth. I got a magpie like 5 feet away from me,
Yeah.
and he's coming towards me. Brave little bird. So, I mean, what was it like up in Denmark? What was the particulars up in Denmark? Was it all lockdown? And I guess it was the
Yeah, there
same
was a
everywhere, was it?
lockdown, and then you had to get tested. So then, when they started opening up, you should keep distance and wear a mask. And then they had these at my workplace. There was guards walking around, so they could stop you any moment. And then if you didn't have a vaccine passport or on your phone or a negative test, then there would be consequences.
Yeah, I never went through all that. I escaped all that. I
Also in
ignored
the
all that shit.
train. Yeah, yeah, you're lucky. Yeah,
Mm.
it was pretty difficult.
Well, I pretty much stated the whole thing. So, I mean, I didn't mask up. I had a lot of people pissed off at me going to a store without a mask on, and they're all losing their shit.
Yeah.
There was times that I actually purposely just tormenting people. I'd be walking down the aisle, and 2 or 3 feet away from somebody, I start coughing, and they'd run for their life. I mean, but
Uh,
at
yeah,
that point, you already knew it was all fake, anyways. It was all fake,
yeah,
And even
yeah,
kids were smarter than the parents. I mean, I was one guy approached me, and he was losing his shit because I wouldn't wear a mask, and he was 10 feet away from me. And his little girl was standing there with the friggin' mask on.
yeah.
Little girl
I,
might have been 7 or 8 years old, and I squat down and I looked at the little girl. I said, "Your brother's not too bright."
yeah.
And she looked at me. She goes, "You know,
Yeah,
even kids were smarter than the parents."
yeah, yeah, because they think differently. But yeah,
But I mean, the psychological damage is incredible. It'll never be fixed.
yeah, no,
And the depths of it are going to be really hard to figure out. I mean, from babies born through COVID, through young children that were, they missed out on a year of school.
Yeah.
And again, it was all the severe disconnect because the people were locked up in their freaking houses for, I don't know, how long was it again? For the average? Two
Was it 1
weeks?
year? I
Oh,
can't remember.
it was 2 weeks to flatten the curve. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That was the bullshit they pushed off. 2 weeks to flatten the curve.
Oh yeah.
Stay at home for 2 weeks, and then there was people. Then when it came to employment, certain people were necessary and certain people weren't. So the ones that were being told you're not necessary, well, that did psychological damage too.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
crazy.
much.
But it was all pre-planned. I mean, for the entire world to go into lockdown, and people again, they don't want to stop and think about it. They don't want to stop and think this is all freaking pre-planned, and it was all
so
financial.
exaggerated, everything.
And it was all incentivized, monetary incentive. People made millions and millions and millions. I mean, Jesus, Pfizer and all these companies made billions out of this bloody bioweapon.
Exactly. Yeah, and they still make money.
And now, I mean, I'm seeing in the autism community right now, I mean, the radical left has taken over everything. Not to take it too much of a tangent, but I mean, they're out there now, and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the enemy. Don't listen to Robert F. Kennedy Jr. You know, he's saying that autism is caused by vaccines, by, possibly by Tylenol and the whole 9 yards. And people are going, okay, we believe you. But that's the radical left, right?
Yeah.
And people are falling for it. They are shaping people's minds. They're shaping people's brains. And this is all what it is. It's all radical left. That's causing all this damage. And it's all the radical left. How many YouTubers were paid off to push the vaccines? Now they're all dead and dying. Get on YouTube and look up, I have cancer. I have MS. I have, brain disease. I have whatever. It just keeps on going and going and going. And how many people have died so far? How many of these YouTube influencers are now dead because they're all vaxxed up?
I'm pretty sure, if nothing, more people have died now because of the vaccine than they would have of a normal flu.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So it's crazy. And I mean, nobody even has numbers yet. I mean, it's going to be in tens of millions. I mean, cancer takes, 30 million people a year worldwide. And we're well over that. We are well over there. There's at least 100 million people dead as a result. Hundreds of million. I think the last count was 2.5 billion people around the world right now are suffering ill because of the vaccines.
That's a lot.
Germany actually released all the data. And again, it's all insurance data. Insurance companies are not even covering people now. If you took a vaccine, they won't even cover you. But yeah, people are, oh yeah, yay, vaccines.
Yeah.
They won't wake up. They don't want to. They want to feel comfortable. They want to stay in their little hole and just feel comfortable to do the right thing. Yeah, and again, they don't want to be thought of as fools. Pardon?
Yeah, especially if they took the vaccine, then they want to live in denial.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. They're all living in denial.
Yeah.
Good Lord. I don't even know what to say anymore. It's just, it's beyond mind-boggling.
Yeah. Yeah, now I'm also scared to give my dog more vaccines than he already had, because I had my previous dog. He got vaccinated like they are supposed to, and then he had it's called for kennel cough. I can't remember the vaccine what it's called, but like a month after that or so, he got extremely ill, and it turned out that he had a autoimmune disease, like suddenly just out of the blue. It was called the immune-mediated hemolytic anemia. Yeah. So he got severely blood deficient, anemic, and he went to the hospital, got a blood transfusion, and then he came back home. But it got worse again, and then he ended up dying. And then I was like, why did he get that? It was like he wasn't even 2 years old, and there was nothing in. So I called the breeder and told her about it, and she didn't have never heard about that disease, and none of his siblings or in the past had any autoimmune diseases so I started searching for answers for why a dog suddenly gets such a severe autoimmune disease, and then Google says that there's a link between so vaccines for dogs and especially that one, that disease. I have it here. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, go for it.
What it says? So it says a 2019 study found a statistically significant temporal association between vaccination and the development of immune-mediated hemolytic anemia in
Hmm.
dogs, suggesting vaccines may trigger the autoimmune condition in susceptible animals. Because IMHA is a serious and often fatal condition, veterinarians typically recommend avoiding vaccination for dogs with a history of IMHA due to the risk of triggering a relapse. The American Kennel Club also advises caution with vaccinations uh, for immunocompromised pets of those with a history of vaccine reactions. Some studies have noted a higher than expected frequency of vaccinations occurring shortly before IMHA diagnosis, leading to the hypothesis that vaccines could act as triggers for this autoimmune response.
Yep.
So, yeah. So
I look at
after that,
Monty.
I'm like, yeah. Then I'm
Yep.
even more skeptical.
I look at Monty. I mean, Monty had his first round of puppy vaccines and nothing since. I mean, he was a house dog for the most part. So I got him at 5 years old. He only had his first round of puppy vaccines. I haven't given him anything since. I refuse to.
Yeah.
And he's 14 years old right now. He's raw fed. The last time I seen a vet, I mean, she couldn't believe how healthy he was. And she
Mm.
told me point blank, she said, look, I'm not going to make any money off this little guy. That was the most honest conversation I had about a vet.
Yeah, exactly. Because they earn so much money on vaccines. They want your dog vaccinated every year.
Oh yeah,
Every
and
year.
every year the vet calls me up. It was time for a wellness exam. Not a fucking
Exactly. You
chance.
get the
Not a chance. I'm not getting my dog vaccinated. And then people are, you tell people you work with dogs and you take your own dog with you, and I tell them he's not vaccinated. Oh my God, you're going to kill other dogs. What the hell?
yeah, yeah.
We got an immune system for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, actually my current dog, he got the kennel cough naturally, the natural way. And he was coughing really, really bad for a whole night. It kept me awake that whole night. And I was like, oh, maybe I should take him to the vet. So the next day, um, then it was over. And ever
Yep.
since he hadn't coughed ever since. So it's like, okay, that's what my previous dog got vaccinated against, and he
Yep.
died of an autoimmune disease. And this dog just had it for one night, and then he was fresh again.
Yep. But I mean, Monty goes to dog parks. I mean, we spent thousands of hours out in the wilderness. He's never had a flea or a tick. He's never been sick. I know for a fact he's been around kennel cough. He's been around parvo. He's been around all this shit. Never got it because he's naturally immune to it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
have.
Yeah.
The last time I had a set of vaccines, that's what screwed my brain up. It's put me on
Mm.
Asperger's. But yet you say that in the autism groups, oh, you're full of shit. That's not possible. That's not possible. But yet you start looking around. There was a set of triplets down in the States.
Yeah.
They were babies. They were all vaccinated at the same time. Guess what? Now they're all autistic.
Mm.
And they don't want to explain that. They don't want to hear that stuff, right? It's statistically impossible for 3 triplets to get autism on the same freaking day.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah.
they
That's
don't want,
suspicious. Yeah.
oh, it's not vaccines. It's not, don't do that. Yep.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
just sheer stupidity. I mean, I haven't had a vaccine in 45 years. I mean, I got people treat me like a leper because I'm not vaccinated. You know what? Fair game. You don't want to come near me. You don't.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah,
That's
but
your
if the
problem, not
vaccine
mine.
is supposed to help, then why are they afraid of you? If they got the vaccine, then they shouldn't be afraid of people who didn't have it. It's
Well,
right.
here's the thing. I've had friends growing up, Gen X, that were actually vaccinated for all this stuff, and they've never had chickenpox. They've never had measles. But yet, when their kids end up getting it, a friend of mine had 2 girls, and I think they were probably 7 and 9 at the time. They got chickenpox. Well, guess what? The parents had to vacate the house because they were only vaccinated. I had to go in for a few days and take care of the kids. They were talking to the kids through a friggin' window. But I'm the crazy person, right? I'm immune to it. I've had it already. But they're
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
They're vaccinated. They're not immune to it. What
Yeah,
gives?
exactly.
I remember whooping cough was one of the worst ones. I mean, Jesus, you're coughing and coughing, and you always had that chest burn, eh?
Mm.
And here's the thing with vaccines: like people don't seem to realize you can't vaccinate for a bacteria. So when you get a whooping cough vaccine, it doesn't actually work the way people think it does. So when you got people like there's no shortage of new mothers and whatnot on TV. Oh my God, my baby died of whooping cough, and they blame the unvaccinated. That's not my problem. It's not me to kill your freaking baby. The problem is the CDC was always talking about cocooning. If you're going to go see a new baby, get your whooping cough, get your DTaP updated, pertussis and whatnot. The thing of it is, you can't vaccinate for a bacteria. What they're actually vaccinating for in whooping cough is the actual the toxin that the bacteria actually produces.
Okay.
So when you actually get whooping cough bacteria in the body, it starts producing the toxin, which actually covers up the symptoms. They're not vaccinating for the bacteria. Understand that. So if you get all of a sudden get a minor cough and you're going to see a newborn, you've got whooping cough. You don't realize it. You're not vaccinated against the. You're vaccinated against the toxin. The body is trying to deal with the toxin that the bacteria is producing, not the bacteria itself. It doesn't recognize the bacteria.
So you can still transmit
You
it.
can yes, you're still infected. You're still transmitting the bacteria.
Oh,
The
yeah, yeah.
vaccination only covers the toxin that the bacteria produces. But yet they're on TV screaming at with people like me. I've already had it. I can't get infected anymore, which
Yeah,
means I
yeah.
can't transmit it.
Nope.
But you explain that to people, you prove it to them, they don't want to hear it.
Oh.
They're so convinced that vaccines work, and I mean most of these infections, there was never a cure. There was never a vaccine for scarlet fever, but yet scarlet fever up disappeared like a fart in the wind. All of these infections, or what they call diseases now, were already on their way out as a result of herd immunity. When by the time the vaccines already came out, but people don't want to hear that either. They were already on their way out as a result of herd immunity, and we were the last of the herd. We had chickenpox parties. My mom made sure we had everything. Measles for me was a walk in the park. My sister had a bit of a difficulty with it, but nothing serious. There was nobody died of it.
Mm.
It's crazy, you know. But yeah, people, oh my God, you know, it's a disease now. They turned it in, they brought it from a friggin' infection into a disease. Now, oh my God, it's a pandemic, it's an epidemic, locked down the entire world, measles here.
Yeah, it's the scare tactics that.
It's a scam, is what it is. It's a bloody scam.
And they make
But
people
people,
afraid.
that's what
More
it
afraid
is.
than
If you,
necessary.
yep, it's fear. Fear
Yeah.
is lack of understanding. Fear is
Yeah.
simply lack of understanding. Knowledge is power. Knowledge leads to understanding, and it's understanding that conquers fear.
Yeah.
But people don't have knowledge anymore. People don't have understanding anymore. It's all been taken away. It's been dumbed down because of the experts. And that didn't start yesterday.
Oh. But
It's
it's working.
insane.
It's working well.
Oh, it's working really well. You know, like I say, a person is smart. A pack of humans is a group of dumb, panicky animals.
Yeah.
God, my God, my God. And they just don't care anymore. They don't care to learn anymore. They'll fight you tooth and nail. It doesn't matter what you produce. I'm showing people stuff from the NIH, National Institute of Health, the government's own website. Showing point blank, you know what? This is the reality. They don't want to hear it. Oh no, that's all wrong. You know, my doctor said this. Your doctor's full of shit. It's crazy. And I don't see any way to fix this, Catherine. How do you educate the uneducatable, the ones that don't want to be educated? How do you educate them?
I'm not sure. TikTok videos, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It's like dog owners. I mean, it's always one at a time. You got to spoon feed each one to give them the reality, to get them to understand, and that takes a long process, man.
Yeah.
If you can have a conversation with one person one on one about vaccines, you know what? You can get us rid of the thick heads, but when they're in a fucking group of people, forget about it, because they're group rules. You know, it's like the story of the 5 monkeys I sent you.
Yeah, that was. That's a good example. Yeah.
It's the best example out there.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's creepy. It's scary. It's just, how do you educate people that don't want education? That's the big question of today.
Yeah.
I really don't know what to say anymore. I mean, a lot of people are going to die as a result, and I can't do anything to stop it. You know, a lot of kids right now are suffering heart attacks and strokes and everything else. They can't get out and exercise anymore. But oh, it's all long COVID. No, it's not. It's fucking vaccine related. Your kid has got myocarditis or pericarditis as a result of fucking vaccines, and that's exactly one of the big side effects. And they're forced to admit it now. They're forced to admit it now, and even now.
But we already knew from the beginning, because there was already talk about it from the beginning.
Yep.
I mean, talk about it. It was not the. Yeah, but.
And I don't understand. Like, they must have given people all the same batch, the same level, because I know people got 7, 8, 9 vaccines, and they're still kicking. They're still alive.
Yeah. You mean okay? Yeah.
But yet, I've also known people that took one vaccine and now they're dead.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, you get all these healthy people that are just dropping dead, like no explanation.
Yeah, it's very scary actually.
It is. I don't know. Like, how do you educate the ones that don't want to be educated? What do you do with these people?
I don't know. It's a mindset, so it's you can't change that. I don't know.
I don't know either. I honestly don't know.
No,
So how's things
no,
in
and then people who like like you, they just call you what is it they call it, like tinfoil hats.
yeah.
So
Yeah, well, they're the ones suffering right now. Like I say, you go into the vaccinated groups on Facebook, and they're all bitching and whining. Oh my God, I'm sick. I'm this. I'm this. I'm this. I'm this. If somebody pity me, I'm sorry. I got no fucking empathy for you. I got no
exactly.
pity for you. I was begging people. My own
Yeah,
mother, I was begging her, don't take the
yeah,
vaccines. Oh, you're wrong. Now she understands. Now it's too
yeah,
fucking late.
yeah.
You know, friends and family.
Mm.
Yep, full of cancer right now.
I have a friend. She has a lot of heart problems
Yeah,
after the vaccine, but she doesn't think it's. I mean, she doesn't really see the connection.
no,
It's
she doesn't. They don't want to.
no,
Again, it's easier to fool people than it is to convince them they've been fooled, and nobody wants to be thought of as a fool.
exactly.
And that's
Yeah,
the most deadly attitude you can have.
yeah.
Now the damage is done. And when you really get into it, I mean, the lipid, like, people don't even know what a virus is. I mean, for years they were told you're going to get a living strain or a dead strain. There's no such thing. A
Mm.
virus is not living or dead. It's a piece of RNA or DNA wrapped in fat, which is called a lipid. That's all it is. It's not a living thing. A bacteria is a living thing.
Yeah, yeah,
A
exactly.
virus is not a living thing.
Oh,
But yet they fell for it. Oh, I got a live strain. I got a dead. No, you didn't.
mm. Yeah,
There's no such thing as a living strain or a dead strain.
no,
That's another freaking lie. That was another piece of bullshit. You know?
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a tenuous strain. No, no, it's not. What they did, they're taking all these DNA strands of other animals and sticking them into us for experimentation,
Mm.
and people just don't get it.
Yeah, it's an experiment,
Yep.
definitely. Yeah.
How many kids? Like, how many kids have died of SIDS? And here's the most interesting correlation, because for years we were hearing about SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, and most times it was vaccines. The parents wake up tomorrow morning, the baby's dead in the crib. Well, they turned around and called the adult death syndrome SADS,
Mm. Yeah.
and people still didn't correlate it.
No, no.
Babies are dying of SIDS. Now they got adults dying of SADS, sudden adult death syndrome. There's no
But I,
explanation for the death. Nobody wants
but
to
I,
explain why they died, right?
no. But I think people can't believe that anyone would do that to them.
No,
That the
that's the
government or
problem.
whatever would. Yeah,
And there's some bad people around the world. They don't give a shit about human
that
life.
must be.
They could care less. I mean, we can go down conspiracy rabbit holes like crazy.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, my brain.
yeah.
But it's just everything is an illusion. Everything that we live in is an illusion. It's all one big ideology. That's all it is. We live in a bloody matrix, and people don't get it. It's like when the power went off in France and Spain and Portugal and whatnot. People don't stop to realize the entire matrix shut down. The
Yeah.
matrix that we live in, this whole matrix is an ideology. It's a system built for us to live in. It's the Universe 25, the Great Mouse Experiment, and they all died. Well, we're
Mm.
on the same path. But when
Yeah.
they shut down, when the power went off in those countries, they shut down the entire matrix. There's no communications, no food, no gas, no water, no nothing.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
entire matrix shut down, and people were begging for it to come back online so they can get back into it.
Yeah, we're so dependent nowadays. Yeah.
And I tell you right now, if the power grid fails, if the power grid goes down, within 2 weeks, most of these cities are going to be dead.
Mm. Exactly.
The death
Yeah.
is going to be immediate. The people in the hospital without power grid are going to be dead immediately. The ones that are dependent on power,
Yeah.
there's not going to be any water. And I look at the Edmonton right now. We have no potable water around us. All the lakes and rivers are polluted. You can't drink it.
Mm. Also that. Yeah.
If all of a sudden the power grid goes offline, what's coming out of the tap is not going to be any good to drink, and what's out in the field, what's in the lakes and rivers, is not potable.
Mm. Even the rain is polluted, but I guess you could survive drinking rain. But
Yeah, you'd have no choice.
mm.
Wintertime you can melt snow, but even that's not so easy. That's not even safe all the time.
Oh.
But it boggles my mind to see that people are not prepared for anything.
Mm.
There's no survival skills at all. Nobody
Oh.
has any survival skills. How many people could actually start a fire to keep warm, let alone know they can cook a freaking meal over it?
No.
You got the same bunch that can't even correlate the freaking steak in their plate with the cow in the field.
No. Exactly.
Half the it seems like half the country thinks that all the stuff magically is growing at the food store. But this is
Mhm.
society today. It's incredible.
Yeah, they should teach that in school, maybe.
They don't. Why
How
aren't
to
they teaching
survive.
this in school? Why aren't they teaching it in school? That's the big question, isn't it?
Mm,
There's a reason
yeah.
for it. Growing up over the last 20 years, I mean, I've taken kids camping, especially autistic kids. Take them for a weekend to give their parents a break. Teach them how to start a fire. Teach them how to use an axe. Teach them how to use a freaking chainsaw. Teach them all the life skills they need to survive.
That's cool. Yeah.
I love doing it.
That's yeah.
Teach them how to fish. You know, it's crazy. But people have no survival skills anymore. And we got generation to generation growing up. I mean, I look at Gen X. I mean, my generation was one of the worst. We started a lot of this disconnect. When internet came online mainstream in mid '90s, and I watched a lot of my friends get hooked on internet, and that's when they started buying the video games for the kids in the bedroom, the
Mm,
babysitter games,
yeah.
and that's gotten so prominent right now. A lot of kids grew up in the bedroom playing video games. They never learned to cook. They never learned to get out camping. They never learned to be outside. Grew up in the freaking bedroom, and they're still doing it today.
Yeah.
These kids are growing up with no life skills. They were given no life skills. Now they're up, growing up and having kids. They got no life skills to give their kids. So the kids are doing the same thing, and on and on and on we go. Nobody has any life skills. And as a result, we got all these women out there that are so fucked up by feminism. I'm sorry, but that's the reality. You got so many of these boss babes, they got no life skills at all. And all I see are, they think they're strong, independent women. All I see is freaking insecurity. And a bunch of women that can't take care of themselves. Now they're all looking for Prince Carmen to take care of them.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
want to sit their ass on the couch and be fed peeled grapes by their husbands. You know, they got no life skills.
Oh.
All these boss babes, all I see is insecurity.
Yeah, but then
Relationships
it's
now are all.
easier to
Go ahead.
yeah, it's easier to control people if they can't do anything themselves. So
Yeah. And that's all it is a system of control.
yeah,
And you can control the dumb people so quick, so easily.
they're so easy to
People are,
scare.
yeah. But I mean, it's the same in dog training. They use the same system of applied behavior analysis in dog training as they do in autism, and now they're using it in our society. It's a system of reward and punishment.
Yeah.
And even Skinner wrote papers on the negatives of a punitive society. You know, we're constantly being punished. There's a constant threat of punishment. There's a reason why people don't speed. They don't want the speeding ticket. That's a punishment.
Mm,
That's the constant threat of punishment that keeps us under control.
yeah.
You go to jail. If you commit a crime, you should go to jail, do your time, and that should be the end of it. But no, you got a criminal record for the rest of your life dogging you. It's a constant threat of punishment. And it creates a revolving door. People don't seem to really realize that, right?
Nope.
And if we don't do certain things, we're punished for it. Like all through COVID, the vaccines, if you don't take a vaccine, we're going to punish you. We're going to ruin your
Yeah.
life.
And that's when I really felt it
Yeah.
personally on myself. Yeah.
A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people lost their houses. A lot of people went homeless. But they still stood firm. They didn't take a vaccine.
Yeah.
They lost their family. They lost everything.
Yeah,
And
it's
they got
really
a right to
tough.
be angry. They
Yeah.
got a right to be angry. But yet the ones that are sitting there all the ones that are all vaxxed up and got all the shots and whatnot, they're the ones that are looking for the sympathy. But the people
Mm,
like us that lost everything, we get no
yeah.
sympathy.
Exactly. Yeah.
And don't expect me to give sympathy to the fucking vaccinated. If you're sick and dying, you know what? Too bad. That's on you. I'm sorry. I don't have any sympathy left for you. You did that to yourself. We were begging you not to do it.
Yeah.
That's the reality. But life goes on.
For some.
For some, yeah.
Yeah.
For others, it's not so good. A lot of people just can't live right now.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's screwing up people's brains. It really is screwing up people's brains. I mean, people are losing their marbles these days as a result of that bloody vaccine. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse. I mean, the things that people say to you online, you watch the YouTube videos. I mean, people are freaking out. You go to Walmart, and
Mm?
people are freaking out about the littlest things. There's no
What do you
self-control
mean?
anymore. Well, they get angry so quick,
Ah,
and
yeah, yeah.
everybody's so
Yeah,
damn
they're so
entitled these
angry. Yeah,
days.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I noticed
Everybody's
that.
so damn entitled.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
People are
And there's
ready to
so
kill
much
each other.
anger.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of anger, and it's just people don't even understand where the anger comes from anymore.
Mm,
It's incredible.
yeah.
But yeah, we're the crazy people, right? It makes no sense at all. And when you sit here and think about the damage done, I mean, it's such a deep rabbit hole. to babies, to children, to everybody's so disconnected. Like I say, most people are still stuck in COVID isolation mentally right now. They never got
Mm.
out of it.
Mm-mm.
And then as a result, I mean, a lot of people learn to enjoy their own isolation. So a lot of people go out in public right now. They don't want anybody near them.
No,
They go out and do what they got to do, and they go back home again. They're all, nestled up in their
it's too much.
own little world.
It's too much for them
Exactly it. It's too much.
to get
But it's all fear.
anxiety and stuff. Social
All is,
anxiety.
yep. Social anxiety is a good word for it. And it's with children, it's with adults, it's with everybody right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no empathy left in the world at all.
Oh. Oh, that's pretty clear.
Yep. And one of the big things that the vaccine did, one of the big side effects that I found out is it's called limbic encephalitis.
Okay.
And that's actually up in the NIH. I should send you that article.
Yeah.
So what it's actually doing is causing swelling in the limbic system of the brain. And the limbic system is everything. That's your That's your control center for all your emotions, which are your instincts that drive all your behaviors.
Yeah.
And one of the side effects that people don't realize is that it's causing limbic encephalitis. It's causing swelling in the limbic system in the brain,
Oh,
and that's
crazy.
causing all kinds of weird shit. You know.
Yeah, it must. It must do that.
Well, the limbic system is where your fight and flight response is, and people are almost in constant fight or flight. People are always ready to fight. They're always ready to get into a scrap out in public, right?
Yep.
People are very, very quick tempered now. People are very quick to get angry.
They are.
And you got to wonder why.
I've noticed that.
Is it because of the limbic encephalitis? I can't see why not.
Could be.
But again, they're calling it very mild. They're calling it very minor. There's not a whole lot of people getting it. My ass. If they do the testing, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But when you start getting into all the side effects of this vaccine, I mean, I'll send you the Pfizer documents that were, I think, they were put out in June or July of 2020, fairly early on. They were forced to release all this stuff, and like I say, there's 9 pages of known side effects, and a lot of them include death. There's one. The first side effect that was listed, I think, is called the IP38 gene deletion.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be a congenital thing. You're supposed to be born with it, but actually, the vaccine actually removes that. And I can actually turn you into a zombie when compared. And this is a conspiracy rabbit hole, but from what I understand, they actually put one of the either what was it called, Metaba or Ebola within the lipid of the vaccine or the virus that they put into you.
Yeah.
And combined, it can actually lobotomize you.
Lobotomize. What does that mean?
It basically turns you into a zombie.
Okay. I mean, I do see people with this zombie look on their in their eyes out in public.
Yep, it's crazy.
Could be something like that. Yeah.
But I mean, between the vaccines and the technology, I mean, people are walking around like zombies now anyway. We're almost living in the Walking Dead now as it is.
Yeah.
People are walking around with their phone stuck in their face. You got, husband and wife and boyfriend and girlfriend. They're sitting on the freaking couch together and they're texting each other.
Yeah, even when they're out to a dinner.
Yep.
Oh, so I take the public train a lot to work, and it's a long commute. So I see a lot of those. People just sit like that, non-stop. They don't look. I usually just look out at the window and listen to some music, but they just constantly sit like this with their head bended.
Yep.
They don't see anything around them. I mean, a murderer could come, and they wouldn't see it.
Yep. And again, there's so many things that are ambient, but I mean, parents and kids are doing the same thing. Like, your parents will text their kids, or kids will text their parents instead of coming out of the bedroom. Nobody's talking face to face anymore.
Nope.
It's insane to see the disconnection that COVID caused and technology caused. I mean, over the last 35 years, technology alone, I can talk for hours and hours and hours on how much damage technology and social media has done. From a tech standpoint, it's incredible. It's mind-blowing is what it is.
You could call that an experiment on humanity as well. Social media.
Technology is the worst thing you ever hit. It's the worst thing ever brought about to humanity. I mean, right now, we are completely dependent. I mean, how many people actually have a landline at home? Everybody got a cell phone. If the system goes down, nobody can communicate.
Yeah.
How do businesses survive without if all of a sudden all the computers crashed? How hard would it be right now to go back to pen and paper for ledgers?
Mm.
You couldn't do it.
No.
If technology ceased to exist tomorrow, we're done.
Yeah, totally.
We're completely dependent on
We're
it.
way too dependent. Yeah.
People are completely dependent on vaccines. They don't know shit about immunology, but they're all
Mm.
concerned about immunization. And yet, when you try to talk about immunology, nobody wants to hear about it. You know,
No.
you talk about cannabis and children. I have no problems at all putting kids on cannabis because it's treating so many things. I mean, especially with autism, I'm telling parents point blank, you know what? Try your child on cannabis. Oh my God, I don't want to get my kid. You don't need to get
Mm.
your kid stoned.
But the funny thing is, the medicine against ADHD is like amphetamine-like substances.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, yeah,
And amphetamines have been around for, I think, 1898. It was invented in Japan.
I don't know.
It's been around for a long time, and we talked about that already with the war. I mean, Jesus, the Germany had the entire freaking military hyped up on Pervitin, which is
Mm.
also
Yeah.
methamphetamine. It was bought. The patent was bought by Bayer, and people are wondering how Germany managed to get through Europe in a matter of 3 or 4 days and take over the entire of Europe. Well, Jesus, they didn't need to sleep. They weren't eating. They were strung out on freaking methamphetamine. But people go, "Oh my God, you're crazy." Well, it's all proven.
Yeah.
You know.
And that's how they could just kill.
Yep. It took away all of their. Turned them into Nazis.
Yeah.
That's what it did. It's insane, you know. But I mean, when you look at things through, I guess through, I wish people could see the world through my eyes, through the world of Asperger's and the empath. My God, it's just insane. My brain is buzzing most days. Like I'll sit down and smoke cannabis at nighttime just to calm down.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the only thing that helps right now. And more autistics should understand that, you know what, cannabis really helps.
Mm.
Our endocannabinoid system. Most people have never heard of the endocannabinoid system. It's the regulator for your immune system. When you're chronically stressed out, your endocannabinoid system is suppressed. So the regulator for the immune system is suppressed, and our endocannabinoid systems are starving. People aren't getting cannabinoids. You can turn your body can turn omega 3, 6, and 9 into cannabinoids that can help you. But yet, how many people are actually getting omegas these days? You know, there's so many different cannabinoids in foods that people have no idea about, like capsaicin, the stuff that
Mm.
makes hot pepper sauce, is a powerful cannabinoid. CBD is a powerful cannabinoid. There's over 100 cannabinoids in cannabis, but yet people, oh my God, you're crazy. I don't want to get my kids stoned. You don't need to give them THC,
Yeah.
but they don't want to listen. They're
Oh,
going for pharma instead. You know what? There's 5-year-olds that are taking freaking Prozac right now,
exactly. Yeah.
and they're all looped out. And that stuff is addictive. You can't just stop. You can't just stop taking that
No,
medication.
exactly. It's addictive. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm.
It's absolutely insane. I mean, I haven't watched cable in 20 years or 25 years now. I cut the cable, and whatever I consume now is all online through YouTube and whatever have you. If I want to watch a movie, I download a movie.
Yeah.
But I sat down a few months ago. I was at a friend's, and like I say, I haven't watched cable in years. She was watching some silly medical drama, and she was totally oblivious to the drug commercials that came on. I'm sitting there with my jaw hanging open
Mm.
with all these drug commercials, you know. And if you have these side effects, if you have these symptoms, go see your doctor about this drug. They got people self-diagnosing now
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
to sell a medication,
Yeah.
and then there's a string of side effects. You know, it might kill you, but you know what? You won't have shaken leg syndrome if you take this medication. I'm like, what is going on with society? Like, how far are we gone?
Mm. Yeah. It's the money. That's.
It's all about money.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see because all the stock market right now is starting to crash. And I mean, all of these vaccine companies and pharmaceutical companies, they're all crashing and burning now. Their stocks are going to the floor, and it's nice to see. And people are
Mm.
finally waking up to it. Some people are finally waking up to it.
Okay. Yeah.
But like I say, now it's too late. You know, going back to 2020. I mean, in May 2020, my ulcer ruptured, and I was in the hospital for a couple months. And when you're getting 4 milligram shot in your arm of Dilaudid 4 times a day, I didn't stop to think that I'd be an addict, but they turned me into an addict.
Okay. Yeah.
Dilaudid is what they give to heroin addicts to get them off of heroin. Dilaudid ranks right up to what this synthetic heroin is what it is. That's what they're shooting into me. So after a couple months of taking freaking 4 shots of heroin a day, guess what? You wind up being addicted. And through all the COVID, oh, well, there's no help. So you had to deal with yourself.
Mm.
Now I understand why people turn to go out the street for freaking drugs. Because I mean, when that stuff wore off that night,
Mm.
I had a choice to make. I mean, my body was just shaking. The side effects, the symptoms, the withdrawal from Dilaudid was incredible.
Ah,
So I ended up having
scary.
to. It was terrifying. The only thing that got me off it was cannabis. I started smoking cannabis around the clock for 4 or 5 days. That was actually taking the side effects off
Mm.
taking the edge off, and allowed me to get off of it. So I got lucky. I got clean.
Yeah,
But there's so many people. I mean, they got like when what is it that drug OxyContin? It was being sold as non-addictive. So doctors
yeah.
were giving this stuff out like candy.
Mm.
Non-addictive pain medication, great. Next thing you know, they're turning half the population into freaking drug addicts, and then they're, oh, you're an addict now. We got to cut you off,
Yeah,
and now they're going to the streets looking for drugs. That was the whole thing with George Floyd. Remember him when
yeah.
the Democrats murdered him? That was George
Mm.
Floyd. He was chronic. He had chronic pain. Doctors got him all jumped up on oxycodone, and they cut him off. Well, guess what? The day he
Mm.
died, he was doing a drug deal.
Okay.
That man died of a drug overdose because he had his dealer in the back seat. He had bought a bunch of pills, and he swallowed them
Mm.
when the cops showed up. The man
Ah,
died of an
okay.
overdose.
Okay, yeah.
But they turned around and murdered him. They were fucking Democrats were all taking a knee. They buried him in a golden casket up on the on Parliament or the freaking government freaking graveyard. They made a mockery of that poor man. That man was a pain sufferer.
Mm.
That's what he was. He was a drug addict. He was turned into a drug addict by doctors and then cut off.
Okay.
It's crazy. But yet
Yeah.
everybody, oh my God, George, I can only imagine what his family went through when they turned
Mm.
around and murdered him. Good Lord, it's just people are crazy, and I think it's getting to the point of insanity,
Yeah.
and it's gone beyond narcissism. I mean, I look around; it's nothing but narcissism.
Mm.
Everybody's turning narcissists now. They're all trying to control and manage you. They're all trying to beat you into submission. It's like the story of the
Exactly.
five monkeys in the freaking
Yeah.
cold water in a cage.
Yeah.
And it's gone beyond narcissism. Now we're into the realm of psychopathy with a lot of these people, of sociopathy, because
Mm.
they're doing so much damage. The radical left right now is doing so much damage, and there's no care or concern. It's amazing.
Yeah.
These people are fucking psychopath. There's no other way to explain it. And they're still out there pushing the freaking vaccine, knowing full well that it's killing people.
Mm. Yeah.
I'm still seeing people walking around town wearing masks.
Yeah, I also see some of them still. It's yeah.
It's insane.
Mm.
How do you explain this? How do you fix this? You can't.
I don't know. It seems like a mental illness or something. I don't know.
Well, what the radical left is doing, I did a video. What they're doing, they're actually destroying empathy
Yeah.
because empathy is required for humanity to exist, for society to exist, and what they're doing is destroying empathy. People don't give a shit about nothing anymore.
Mm.
The average person right now, homeless people, I mean, they're stepping over homeless people on the freaking sidewalks. They don't even notice it anymore. It's ambient
Yeah.
noise.
Yeah.
And when that first John Wick movie came out, I think there was 70 people shot and killed. People were cheering on human death. But when the dog died, when the puppy died, oh my God,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
human death and suffering has become ambient to people.
Yeah. Yeah. So you think they do it on purpose, like with video games and movies, and I mean,
It's insane.
condition people to get used to suffering and death. And
And here's the thing: that's the whole thing with the shadow with Carl Jung. The
yeah.
shadow is your dark side. It goes all the way to hell. And the problem is, right now, we're being force fed our shadow every day. Like Jordan Peterson, I loved the man. And I loved how how he explained the shadow. In order to understand the shadow, you need to understand the Nazis, and that's a terrifying thing to do. You had these ordinary, average people, pig farmers, bakers, and whatever have you. They all joined the Nazi SS so they can go out and kill their neighbors,
Yeah.
and that's a terrifying prospect to try to understand that. But they build it up to their shadow,
Mm.
and the whole thing is, right now, every day we're being force fed our shadows in movies, so they're actually making people scared of their own shadows. So people watch a movie with all this, with all the human death and destruction and whatnot, and they don't want a part of it. Now you can get into video games and act out your shadow online. You can start killing people
Mm.
online in a video game.
Yeah.
This is what's happening. This is on the tech side of things. It's insane. And like I say, it's causing people to lose their minds.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any way to stop it. This is a moving train right now. There's no way to stop it.
No.
The
Probably not.
damage is done. The damage is done. It just keeps on getting done.
Yeah.
And how do you educate people that don't want to be educated? That's the big question.
Mm.
I don't know anymore.
No.
And I mean, there's so many rabbit holes we can go down right now. I mean, the destruction caused by feminism, the destruction caused by, the women's movements. It's insane to see what's going on. Women are, what is a woman now? Is nothing more than a freaking costume.
Mm.
That's all a
Yeah.
woman is right now. And that's all women that caused that. Chivalry is dead, and it's women that killed it. Now they're wondering where all the men are. They chased the men away for the last 10 years, and now they're going, well, where's all the good men at? it's mind boggling.
Yeah.
And they can't understand. There's just no understanding anymore. Everybody's afraid. What is fear? But lack of understanding.
Mm.
And it's knowledge that brings understanding. That's all we're trying to give people is knowledge. But the people
Yeah.
don't want it. The average person doesn't want the knowledge, at least understanding which conquers fear.
Yeah.
And when you wrap your head around that psychology, oh my God, it's just mind blowing. It really is. I don't even know what to say anymore. Society's been dumbed down. The knowledge has been taken away.
Yeah.
What else do you want to say?
I don't know right now.
It's kind of hard not. It's kind of hard to understand what to say anymore. Because what do you say?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I just feel like it's
It's a lost cause.
a bit powerless actually in this society.
It's a lost cause, is what it is.
Mm.
I mean, the rates
Yeah,
of
exactly.
autism, right?
It's like a big train. Just you can't really stop it, right?
Yeah, the rates of autism as a result of this freaking shot. I mean, it's gone through the roof. I'm looking at the autistic groups. There's people that are 30, 40, 50 years old. I just got recently diagnosed with autism.
Okay. Yeah.
You ever stop to think and wonder what caused the autism?
Yeah. No, they
I'm
just
showing
accept
them.
it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm showing people the brain samples, and I'm trying to explain to people I am Asperger's right now as a result of getting forced vaccinated at 11 years old. They dragged my ass to the gym and they shot whatever they had into me.
Mm.
And I've shown them the actual lab studies, the brain matter studies.
Okay. Yeah.
Showing like aluminum is a very good conductor of electricity.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So they put thimerosal in the vaccines, which is an organic mercury. It's been well known that mercury is deadly to people.
Yeah.
Then people are saying,
Yeah.
well, they don't use thimerosal anymore. Why the fuck did they use it in the first place, knowing damn well it was dangerous? Because it drops the blood-brain barrier.
Mm.
And the blood-brain barrier is actually very important. It keeps all the bad stuff out of the brain.
Yeah.
So when mercury actually brings down the blood-brain barrier, the aluminum gets into the brain.
Mm. Exactly.
And when it gets into the cortex, eventually over time, it causes Alzheimer's.
Mm.
Now, here's the big kicker with autism. I always say my brain is not wired to my fingers in any which way it causes me fine motor skills.
Yeah.
Aluminum gets into the axons of the brain. And aluminum, again, is a very good conductor of electricity. So it's actually interrupting the synapse responses. It's actually interrupting the axon firing.
Okay.
So the brain is not. The brain is actually short-circuiting. It can't communicate with the body properly. This is autism. This is Asperger's. But yet people think, oh my God, you're crazy. That's not possible.
Yeah.
It's proven. It's proven one of the causes for autism. Vaccines.
Yeah.
But yet they don't want to hear it. It's to the point right now, people don't want to be educated.
Mm.
They don't want to hear it anymore. Because they don't want to be thought of as a fool.
Yeah, exactly.
And they keep taking the same shit that's killing them.
Yeah.
Out of pure freaking ignorance. And ignorance kills.
Yes.
So I don't know. What else do you say?
Yeah.
We've been on here for an hour and a half, so.
Yeah, maybe we should.
I think next time we talk, we should have a list of things to go through, a checklist.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe we should do that next time. Yeah.
We should get online and talk about feminism one of these nights. That's what we should do.
We can
That'll get views. That'll piss a lot of women off.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. But the one thing I'd like to do, I got to find somebody to do a good autism podcast with, because there's a whole lot of information up in my brain that's got to come out.
Yeah.
And people got to learn. People got to understand. I mean, there's certain people now. I'm in the groups and I'm talking to them, and there's all kinds of likes, and people are coming. Okay, that's an interesting perspective. Tell me more. Because it's taken me a lot of years to figure out my own brain and what Asperger's is. Most of these kids are being told, you know what, you are autism.
Yeah.
My name is Robert
Yeah,
Hines. My name
exactly.
is not Asperger's. Asperger's does not define who I am.
No.
I am with Asperger's.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's
It's
what
the
most people
label.
don't realize. It's a
Yeah.
human being with autism,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's all the labeling going on. And this is what the
Yeah, it's
radical
become
left
their
is always
whole
good at.
identity.
Yep.
And
Yep.
if a parent tells a kid like, "Oh, you have this diagnosis, you are sick, you are ill," then of course they think they cannot
Yep.
cope with the world in
And
a
it's
normal
all
way.
it's all one big money racket. I mean, here in Canada, it costs anywhere to $3, $4, $5,000 to get a autistic diagnosis.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a lot of money to get a
Yeah.
diagnosis.
Yeah.
And I was talking to a lady on private messaging. She sent me a message, and her son is 22 years old. He's all depressed as a result of all the friggin' physical and mental abuse he was taking.
Yeah.
And she's trying to talk him into getting going to get tested for autism. He's not interested. The guy's in a freaking severe depression. I said, at this point, getting tested and diagnosed for autism is a moot point.
Mm.
The guy's got severe depression as a result of his fast. He needs to understand that none of that shit was his fault. He needs to heal first. But you got to keep trying to pressure to get these labels.
Yeah.
Get the diagnosis, get the label, and it's all about fucking labels.
Yeah.
Now the radical leftist turned around. They got they got this ideology, this one size fits all for autism, and they expect everybody to jump into that bucket.
Mm.
Then they get pissed off at me because I won't do it.
Mm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
There's so many rabbit holes we can go down right now. It's just insane. And it seems like nobody gives a shit anymore. Nobody wants to be educated anymore. Nobody wants knowledge anymore. It's just it it blows
They
me
want to
away.
live in their little bubble.
Yep, that's exactly it. And that little bubble is going to get him killed.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's insane. It makes no sense. But yet it does make a lot of sense. It's the human animal, easily
Yeah,
manipulated
exactly. It's
through
the
reward and
human
punishment.
animal. It's the flock mentality, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to be an outcast.
Nope. Don't want to be outside the herd.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
I've been living outside the herd for the last 35 years.
Yeah.
You know, living outside the matrix for the last 35 years, doing as little as possible.
What happened 35 years ago?
I woke up.
Why exactly 35 years ago?
That was
Did
back
you
in
realize?
1990. Oh, there's a whole lot of things that woke me up, but I mean, in 1990, that's when I really woke up and started to realize what the world around me was. And I've been watching this nightmare come to fruition for the last 35 years. I've known for the last 35 years that society is going to crater. And I've been watching humanity spin the toilet bowl. And it's
Mm.
just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I've been waiting for these events for the last 35 years. I've known they were coming. You know,
Okay.
when
Yeah.
RuPaul came online, first aired, I think 10 or 15 years ago, I told my cousin back then, you know what, this started the normalization of pedophilia. Oh, you're
Mm.
crazy, you're crazy. Well, you called me up a few years ago going, how the hell did you know? Because that's exactly what they're doing. I said, how did you not know?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It takes a lot of time and effort. It takes a lot of reading and research to become a conspiracy theory. And people are like, oh, yeah, you're crazy, but you're not willing to put the time into it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
Because everything that people know is they're like it's been fed to them.
Yeah.
And if you want
And
a different kind of knowledge, you have to seek it yourself.
what's being fed to them is a crock of shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
mean,
Yeah.
most most psychotherapists today, they couldn't find their own ass with a map.
No.
And it's like with dog owners, I'm telling them constantly, you know what? Go ask any dog trainer, go ask any behaviors to define the word behavior. They can't, and they won't. I'm telling parents that would ask kids to do the same thing. Go and ask your psychotherapist to define the word behavior. They can't, and they won't. They don't care. They don't need to. They don't care about the subjective. All they care is objective.
Yeah.
It's. But I'm not a crazy person.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what everyone wants you to think. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've told the people in like the radical left in the autism groups, they're always coming at me right now. And I'm telling them point blank. Every time they come at me, I'm telling them point blank. I know what the game plan is. I know exactly what the radical left is doing, and they shut right up. They
Okay.
don't come back at me.
Oh. Okay.
And that's exactly what's going on right now. Is the radical left is causing all the problems. It's the radical left that was pushing all the vaccines. It's the radical left that's causing all the damages. People just don't seem to realize it. You know, the radical left could care less about humanity. They don't care about, they're out set out to destroy and kill, maim, harm, and that's a hard thing for people to accept. And
Yeah,
that's
of
where
course.
you're right. People don't want to accept it. There's people out there wanting to do harm and damage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, the rabbit holes I can go down right now, but you know what? We'll be online for 5 or 6 hours. There's no sense.
Yeah, but we can do it another day.
Oh yeah, I'm more than willing to do it. But the one big thing I'd like to talk about is feminism and the damage done by feminism and all the
Mm?
spin-offs of feminism, like Black Lives Matter and all the women's movements and everything else. I mean, it has caused so much friggin' destruction. It's not fit. And I think that would be a great conversation for you and I to have because, it's your experience as well.